rocking with your boy Maino, KOB, Hustle Hard, Lobby Boys. You already know what it is, Brooklyn, New York City. What's happening, Sus?
What's good, my brother?
I know you a lot of years, right? You've been a DJ in the culture, breaking records, Power 105, iHeart, in the clubs. One of the greatest DJs. I feel like I like to party with, right? So I like to be outside, and everybody knows that. And we outside having fun. The club life, the nightlife, and you one of the guys that really know how to DJ a party. So let me just say this to you though, if I never said this to you before. Thank you, right? Because you are one of a very few DJs that actually really went out their way to absolutely break my first record. You really went out your way because you was coming on every day at a specific time, right? And you was playing it every single day. And this is pre-TikTok and all that.
Yeah, pre all of that.
Right.
And I got to thank you too for making the records that get me excited to play the records and break them like that.
And we did a movie record.
Yeah. Let Them Lay.
Right, classic.
Yeah.
Could have been bigger, but the one for the fans of Maino and Sus and the streets and been understanding what been going on in New York City, they know what that Let 'Em Lay was like.
Yes.
That Let 'Em Lay was something.
Nah,
for real.
I'll tap you up.
You've been my guy. Let me ask you this though. You one of the guys that when I'm outside and when we was moving around in some of the classic New York City clubs, Greenhouse, Griffin, Up and Down. Well, not so much Up and Down. Like we talk maybe like Kiss and Fly, which became.
Let me name some. Pink Elephant on
Pink
Sundays.
Elephant.
I did Cherry Lounge on Saturdays.
Oh God, Cherry Lounge.
Greenhouse on Tuesdays.
Oh God.
Clubhouse on Thursday and Fridays. The Gates. There were so many clubs, bro.
I remember you was DJing
M2.
one time. I came up. I pulled up in to Greenhouse with no shirt on.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. We came to the DJ booth. It was crazy.
Right.
I was at the DJ booth. I pulled up in the Bentley, no shirt on, walked in, straight to the DJ booth. Sussone is in there. But let me just say this. I guess this is a question. There's a difference between DJing and being one of those guys that actually know how to handle a party. I feel like you one of the guys that know how to handle a party. Do you feel like you get the credit that you deserve on that note?
You know what? No, but yes, because the only people I cared about, besides the club goers, obviously, coming in this game was my heroes. So shout to Cool DJ Red Alert, shout to Kid Capri, shout to Funk Flex, shout to DJ Clue, and all these DJs that inspired me.
Right.
Most of those guys acknowledged me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I cared about. As far as the public goes, the public knew they was coming to the clubs. As far as other people in the industry, I don't know.
What you think about the fact that music is not typically broken the same way it used to be, right? So you don't take a record from the studio and take it to the strip club or the club or take it to the radio guy no more, right? Everybody is doing something different. They go on social media with it, TikTok with it. So now that the music is kind of being broke online on social media, and now the DJ now only has to play what is hot on TikTok.
Nah, well, I still break records. Shout to people like yourself, and shout to Scarlett. Scarlett, I broke her record on radio. Right. So I still think radio.
But she was buzzing off the internet though, off of social media though.
No, she was buzzing off the internet.
Right.
But
You're probably the first person to play her.
That This Is New York record,
right.
I remember exactly. My boy put me onto that record. It didn't have a lot of views yet, and I told her. By the way, anybody who says they broke Scarlett, you ask Scarlett herself. She didn't even have a clean edit to the record. She made a clean edit specifically to me, and I played it for like a half hour straight. Now I'm not going to say she didn't have a buzz. Of course she had a buzz, but her energy went to another level after that, which reminded me radio still does matter. Maybe it's not the only thing that matters. It's maybe like number 5 on the list, because now they got Spotify, they got YouTube, they got all the playlists, they got all the stuff. But radio still matters, and the DJ is always going to matter. When I get on the record and I start talking and bringing it back, it's going to be a different energy than when you hear it on the playlist or when you hear it on YouTube. I'm going to make that record. Whatever movie you thought it was when you heard it, I'm going to make it a trilogy. Speaking
of like nightlife, right? Because we talking about being outside, and, being in those clubs and being in those atmospheres. It could wear and tear on your body. It can wear and tear on your spirit. But I'm speaking more in terms of what it does and what it can do to your body. The excessive drinking, up nights, not sleeping, and not finding that balance, right?
Yo, nightlife, anybody who's been a part of nightlife or experienced that, you know, is the late night after the club dinners, eating burgers and fries at 4 in the morning, and going right home to go to sleep,
and then getting right back up.
I was never a big drinker, but you drink a lot of alcohol being around the heavy drinkers. You know what I'm saying? The heavy smoke that's in the clubs. The you know, there's many elements that take a toll on your health, and you know, I'm conscious of that as I'm getting older. I should have been more conscious when I was younger, but now, you know. Shout out to Sussone Medical. I just want to like check everything.
These are the things that we got to start caring about. We pulling up, and we gonna get to it, man. And you know, we gonna talk about it more.
Hi, Sus.
Yo.
What's going on with you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Ready to get this heart scan.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm doing the right thing. Checking my heart, you know.
But we're gonna give you a couple minutes to get your thoughts together, sit by the water, meditate a little bit, and then we're gonna do it. Sound good?
Nice. Good.
All right.
Let's get it. The main reason I wanted to come down to Sussone Medical today is because, you know, heart disease and unhealthy hearts run in my family, and I'm getting older now. I'm still not old, but I'm getting older, and I want to make sure I'm good. I used to be that person who was scared to go to the doctor and scared of what the doctor was going to say to me and just overall nervous. But now I've made the habit to not be scared to go to the doctor, to not be nervous. You know, maybe a little bit, but to be aware of what's going on in my body and just getting to things early before anything could possibly happen. People in my family have died of a heart attack. Friends I've known have died of a heart attack. And I don't want to be the person that finds out that something's wrong with my heart or something's clogged up internally from having a heart attack. I want to get on things early. I want to have control of whatever I can have control over, right? Some things is in God's hands, but whatever I can have control over, I want to make sure I have control over it. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to check my heart, my prostate. I want to scan my whole entire body, make sure I'm not clogged up, make sure everything is good. I lost my dad not too long ago, about a year and a half ago, and he had heart issues. He had stents in his heart. He did that a couple of times over the years because of eating unhealthy and being clogged up to where he had to clear himself up and put stents in his heart. So before I find out, you know, I want to take my experiences of seeing what my dad went through and check myself out early. And hopefully, you know, if everything goes well, I'll be in a good space. And if not, I'll do what I have to do to put myself in a better space.
How old was your dad when he passed, if you don't mind my asking?
78, 1 month from 79.
And the mom still alive?
No, she passed away at 90.
Wow.
Yeah, my grandfather before my dad, I only met my grandfather once. He passed away like in his 60s or something like that.
And do you know what from?
He had cancer.
The fact that you got your A1C down from 6 or 6.1, right? Normal non-diabetic person's less than 5.7.
Yeah, I know.
Between 5.7 and 6.4%, you're pre-diabetic. Yeah. But once you're over 6.4, you're diabetic and you need medication. And the challenge with diabetes is what happens with diabetes, everyone focuses on the sugar, but diabetes is a metabolism problem. It's think of it like a vice on the entire body. It affects the entire body. So 3 out of 4 people with diabetes ultimately die of heart disease because diabetes causes an acceleration of building up of plaque and blockage in the arteries in the entire body. So there's a higher risk of stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, circulation problems. But we'll have all of that information for you before we're done.
Okay.
Any questions, complaints, or concerns?
Just looking. I just want to get to it.
All right, let's go. Get anxious, they come to the doctor, have a test, and their blood pressure goes up a little bit. That's called white coat syndrome. So I'm not overly concerned that your pressure's a little bit high right now. But what we'll do is we'll recheck a blood pressure in just a few minutes before we go. This medicine that we give you under the tongue, the nitroglycerin, there's a small chance it gives you a little bit of a headache, but open up under your tongue. Just let it dissolve. But it acts very quickly and it wears off very quickly. Okay? We get our positioning right, make sure the major vessels look okay, and then we're about to do the last shot. And this is a power injector. So from out here, we pretty much just press a button when we're ready, and it's timed perfectly to his EKG. The contrast comes in from that boom over the CAT scan and into the IV in his arm. We get images that are literally as good as if we brought you in the hospital and did an invasive catheterization like we used to. And now we've reduced the need to do catheterizations where we actually have to put the catheter in the heart, inject contrast right into the arteries to get a look at them. We've reduced that need by over 50% because the only people we now have to bring to the hospital are the ones that we know need a stent or might need bypass surgery. So that's why this test is really so amazing. And it's great that you're advocating for yourself. It's, you know, when a parent passes, I've unfortunately lived through that. For both of my parents, it's like a part of you goes with them. So final blood pressure is 133/79, heart rate 72.
Is that normal?
Yep.
Sure.
Both are good. Do we need pressure after contrast next or no? No. Okay, so I'm just going to take this off. And that's the whole scan. So the whole scan takes 2.5, 3 minutes, and we're already have images to show you.
So the thing is, you just finished doing the scan. You got your heart scan. You did your prostates. We talked about you know, being outside and you know, and being, you know, in the life, and sometimes we not actually taking the time out to actually come down and check these things until something is wrong, right? So I want to commend you for doing that because a lot of us are not doing it. I did it, and I'm gonna keep saying that I did it, and I want to see more people doing it. How you feel though?
I feel good. I feel a little anxious because I haven't got the results yet. We're about to get the results right now, but I feel good. I feel good. I'm doing the right thing, and I'm trying to nip things in the ass before it gets too crazy.
Right. And that's the thing. And we got the guy right here, Dr. Puma, right? So, you know, he has this technology where it's the best in the country, right? Where we can check your heart, you know, you can see what's going on with your heart. You can know that, you know, if you have a slight chance of having a heart attack within the next 15 minutes, right? You can go 15 minutes close. You can know if somebody's going to have a heart attack in 15 minutes.
It's a 3-minute scan.
Oh, wow.
In and out in 15 minutes. You just went through it. It was pretty amazing. And then the images that we get right away, absolutely. The technology is so advanced now, there's no reason not to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want to just talk a little bit about some of the habits, right? Like lifestyle habits. So you've been through what? A 55-pound weight loss.
Well, that's recently.
Yeah.
I just lost 55 pounds. I got to lose another 55 pounds. But in the past, like 6-7 years ago, I had lost a tremendous, way more than 55 pounds and then gained it back. But, you know, doing all the wrong things. Now I'm just trying to do the right things, learn the correct way to be healthy, check things. Even when I was losing that weight before and I was doing the wrong thing, like eating 800 calories a day, I didn't check my blood. I didn't check my sugar levels. I didn't check my heart. I didn't check anything. I was just doing things that I thought I was supposed to do and I was wrong. So I'm trying to do everything the right way this time.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Kenya, and Maino for leading us. I think it's so important to advocate, educate, raise awareness, and I appreciate all you're doing. Suss, it takes a lot of courage to share your story. It takes a lot of courage to bring it out there and to talk about it. And so I appreciate that. What you may not realize is the impact it's going to have on so many people, you know, when they see this, to get out there and start thinking healthy, to just go to the doctor and just all the things you just said. Simple blood test can tell us if you're diabetic or not, what's your cholesterol level, right? Let's just again talk about the risk factors for heart disease. The number one killer in America by a long shot: high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, cigarette smoking, and a family history. And you know where you fit. You have 3 of those 5 risk factors. So being proactive, you know, we haven't talked about the results yet, but the truth is, as I told you earlier, doesn't matter what the results are. Because you're proactive, and you haven't had any events, any damage to the heart yet, you're ensuring that you're going to live a longer, healthier life just by being here today.
Was there anything about the test that you had any misconceptions about? Like, what was the experience like?
No, it was pretty simple. It was a few minutes. They explained everything to me multiple times. It was very comfortable. The only anxious that anybody's ever going to have is that they're just anxious about the results. That's it.
Right. Take a few minutes out your day to make sure everything is all right.
Exactly.
Right? Instead of waiting till something is wrong, getting in front of it. Prevention is better than cure.
Exactly.
So whenever you're ready, Maino,
Let's do
Kenya,
it.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
And Sus, are you ready?
It's crazy. We're going to do a drum roll. From
We can do a drum roll, but I just kind of wanted to circle back to something that you said, because I thought it was really important about like the conversations in communities of color, specifically when it comes to heart disease and what you see in your practice on a daily basis in terms of who you're serving.
So, first of all, I want to be clear. I'm a doctor. I'm not a politician. But we need to talk about disparities in care, okay? And that's not a political issue. That's a life and death issue. And the reality is that communities of color, Black communities, Hispanic communities in particular, have higher incidences of heart disease. They have more complications from it. It's diagnosed at a later time. Far fewer patients are getting adequately treated in an appropriate time frame, and the complications from the disease, from a heart attack, from having blocked arteries, the amount of congestive heart failure where the heart's already damaged is way higher than in white communities or higher socioeconomic communities. So we shouldn't be embarrassed about talking about it. We should be working hard to educate these communities and providing pathways, access points, so that it's easy for them to come and be evaluated and get treated, or at least know what they have, right? We can't make people take medication or do things if they don't want to. Can't diet, can't exercise. We want them to.
Right.
But what we at least can do with a simple 3-minute scan, take their blood test, I can tell them, give them a 10-year risk of a heart attack, stroke, or death.
Right.
Very simple.
Definitely. But information is power, so it's about them actually knowing that it's not complicated.
It's not complicated.
People where I come from, we don't go to the doctor. We're not checking on our health. We just gonna go hard until we drop dead, right? So the thing is, it's about information. It's about letting them know that it's not complicated. It's not a long out drawn procedure. It's something very simple, and it's in your favor. Let's get in front of it. So we're gonna get these results in, right?
Exactly.
Let's do it. So let's get it. Drum roll.
So we're ready?
Drum roll.
Let's get it.
Drum roll. Okay,
Miss Grace,
Yeah.
thank you for the results. So what I'm about to show you are
Sus.
two.
He's the father. You are the father. You are the father.
I'm like, we taking extra long to get the results.
Not in my baby, but
Okay. So what I'm going to show you first is an overview drawing of your arteries.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to show you actual images in 3 different views of all 3 heart arteries. And then I'm going to show you the artificial intelligence software analysis that tells us if there's any plaque or blockage, if it's obstructive or not, might need a stent. And we did all of this in 3 minutes. So the good news is you are not the father.
It's good news.
So this is the artery on the right side of the heart, the artery in the front, which is the most important artery, and the artery in the back. And then as we go page by page, you have minimal, just slight calcification. But there is some calcification right here in the beginning of this artery. And why is that important? Now that you know this, if you just simply take your medicine, baby aspirin, cholesterol medicine, you will stop this from getting any worse. You'll retard its growth. More importantly, there's a much lower chance that you'll ever now have a heart attack or even need a stent.
Nice.
This is the artery in the front of the heart. The artery in the back of the heart's completely normal. No evidence of any calcification, plaque, or blockage. And the artery on the right, the same thing, completely normal. So just the artery in the front, some mild calcification that we can treat medically. In addition, now we have the artificial intelligence software that tells us the flow in the arteries. And to make it easy, blue is good, red is bad. Okay. And you can see we got all blue. You're swimming in the blue.
Just to reiterate, you said blue is good.
Blue is good.
Okay.
So blue is good. So again, I so appreciate the courage it takes to share your story. You know, those of us who have lost our parents, to talk about losing your dad a year ago, who he had stents and probably died of sudden cardiac death, a heart attack. You know, it's not easy to talk about that. But interestingly, that's what kicked you off on your health journey. It's not just losing the weight. Look at the positive impact losing the weight's already had, where your sugar, your diabetes has gone back down to normal now, right? And so now the only issue we're dealing with is cholesterol. And so coming here today, whether Maino and Kenya pushed you to come or you came on your own, but coming here today has, I know now statistically, is going to make you live longer.
Nice.
That's good.
Gonna live longer, man. Congratulations,
Yeah.
my brother.
That's good news. How do you feel about that?
Nah, I feel relief now. Yeah, and it's just part of the journey. I feel great. I feel great that, you know, I checked what had to be checked.
Right.
I got the results, and now I can move forward accordingly.
And now you can go a little bit harder.
No. That's clearly not the message, Maino.
Order the fried chicken and the alcohol.
But no,
Let's get it. I
that's
appreciate
good.
you, brother.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
And
Thanks.
I just would say this, like, as your friend, knowing you as a long time, like, I know you've always kind of been, like, leery and wanting to know more about your health. So I'm really happy that you
Right.
did this.
Yeah, and that it feels good. Feels
Yes.
relief.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right,
No.
we got it done.
Got it
Dog.
done.
Thank you all. Thanks. Thank you
No,
again,
thank you,
Ken and
Dr.
Maino.
Puma.
Thank you. And again,
Let's go.
Sus, really appreciate you.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.